Walker here, and welcome to the Food Society. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a really great simple holiday cocktail, and that's going to be a cranberry old fashioned. One of the cool things about it is we're going to use this homemade spirited cranberry sauce that I made. But you really could use whatever recipe you use at home or even store-bought. So let's get to it. So I'm going to make a nice little rosemary and cranberry garnish for this drink. And we're going to start with, I've got several pieces of rosemary here, nice stems, and I'm going to cut them down to about, let's say about 4 inches. And then you're going to take the bottom part, leave about this much on the top. You're going to take the bottom part and just strip it off. And you can save all this other rosemary for later. And just to make sure, I'm going to make sure that is nice and trim on the bottom there. Set that aside, and I'm going to take 3 cranberries. And I'm going to take a skewer, or you could use a toothpick. And I'm going to get it evenly centered, and I'm just going to make a hole in each one. All right. Now we're making a hole in each one first to make it a little easier to stick the rosemary in. All right, so we'll just pull those off, and you'll find the little hole there, and just put that on. 3 in a row. Then, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you've got these 3 beautiful little cranberries on a rosemary stem with a little frilly end. And you want to leave, part of the stem sticking out on the side, because this will sit real nicely on the glass. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few of those. So you want to start by putting a large cube into an old-fashioned glass. And the reason you want to put the cube in first is you actually want to chill the glass a little bit. So while that glass is chilling, we can go ahead and build our drink in the mixing cup. So we want to add fill the cup about halfway with ice cubes. And then you're going to add the bourbon. So 2 ounces of delicious bourbon. And we're going to do about a ½ ounce of simple syrup. And we're pulling back on the simple syrup a little bit that we normally would put in an old fashioned, because the cranberry sauce already has sugar, so you don't want to make it too sweet. And then we're going to do the bitters, the orange bitters here. So we're just going to put a couple dashes in. And then we're going to do about 1.5 ounces of the cranberry sauce. So we're just going to spoon that in, probably just a little more. Yeah, about 1.5 ounces. And then we're just going to stir the drink. So while you're stirring it, of course you're chilling it, but you're also diluting. One of the great things about this drink is that we're using cranberry sauce, which is something you're already going to have around during the holidays. You might be making it that day for a feast, and you want to make a special cocktail, well, just use the cranberry sauce. Also, we're always going to have leftover cranberry sauce as well, so it's another great use for a leftover cranberry sauce. So about 30 seconds to a minute there. And what I'm going to do is double strain it. And what I mean by that is I'm going to put a clamp strainer on to hold back the ice. But because the cranberry sauce has little chunks in it, and it's an old-fashioned, we want it to be pretty smooth, we're going to pour it through a fine strainer over the large cube. We just want to shake all that liquid out. All right. And then we're going to garnish it with the orange peel, which you want to do fresh. If you do them ahead of time, they just tend to dry out, and you really just lose the oils in the process. So you're just putting a little fine spray by squeezing. You're squeezing it in this direction with the outside down into the glass, and that just really gives it an extra pop of flavor. And then you can just kind of rim the glass and let it sit in the drink. And then with this drink, I've made some little cranberry, rosemary toothpicks on it, and we're just going to set that on a glass to make it real pretty, festive for the holidays. And the other thing it does is the rosemary actually gives it some olfactory, so when you put it up to your face and to have a sip, you can actually get a little smell of the rosemary, which kind of changes the flavor of the drink. So let's have a drink. It was delicious. It's definitely still an old-fashioned, but with the cranberry, obviously, it gives it a nice holiday twist. And the rosemary too. I really like it. I think it's really simple, and like I said, you already have the cranberry sauce around, so you might as well use it. So yeah, happy holidays. Cheers.